Hi, everyone. Welcome to Spill the Tea Radio, where we interview awesome singer-songwriters and those who influence their lives. Spill the Tea Radio explores the journey, creativity, and inspiration behind the songs. My next guest is already an award-winning artist, even though she just launched her professional career in January 2024. She is a singer, songwriter, drummer, and disability advocate who garnered a 2024 MARTYS Award for Emerging Solo Vocalist. Her ambitious Project 2024 promises a new original song on the first of every month this year. So, let's spill the tea with Jenna Dundon. Welcome, Jenna.
Hi, so great to be here.
Well, thanks for coming on the show and doing this with us. It was wonderful to see you win at the Martys. Tell us about that experience. Did you know beforehand? Was it a surprise? Did you have a feeling? Did you think, oh, it's my first, I'm just out of the gate with my career. What was the feeling like when they announced your name?
Wow, it was absolutely shocking. I was going in thinking I didn't win because I assumed they told the winners beforehand
Mhm.
so that they had some sort of like speech prepared or something. And I didn't even write a speech because I was like, I don't want to have this speech sitting there and me not going up and saying it. And then that's a whole sad thing that I didn't want to experience. So I went in very unprepared. And I think I ended up thanking my cat.
As you should.
Yeah, he's currently screaming in the background.
Oh, so if we hear some chiming in
Yes.
from the gallery of your studio audience, uh,
Oh, yes.
we'll know.
I love that.
Let's talk about the invisible disability. Describe for us what invisible disabilities are. And I know there's a myriad of them, but when we think about disabilities, we can, if somebody is in a wheelchair, we know that's a disability. If they are walking with a seeing eye dog or a cane or in dark glasses, they may have they may be impaired visually. But there's those invisible disabilities that are not as apparent, therefore being invisible. And so help us understand what some of those disabilities might be.
Yeah, well, for me, my accommodations aren't a visual cue. So, like you said, in someone with a wheelchair, cane, seeing eye dog, or service dog with a vest, there's a visual cue there that you look at them and say, oh, they might need more accommodations than someone who presents able-bodied. I personally present able-bodied. I struggle every day with fibromyalgia, irritable bowel syndrome, and Tourette's syndrome. So there is a lot of challenges day to day that don't visually appear in everyday life. I had an experience the other day. I drive motorcycles as well. And I think that's hilarious because the minute people hear that, they think, oh, a disabled person can't drive a motorcycle, which is not true. Absolutely not true at all. Disabled people can do anything that able-bodied people can do if it's in their comfort level. Um, but I was at a motorcycle meet, and this guy who's always there, he comes up in a wheelchair, and I've never talked to him before. And it came up that, I have a disability, and he immediately didn't ask any questions and was just like, "You look fine. You're not disabled."
Let's talk about how music is helping you uh not just live with your disabilities, but also helping you advocate for others that are living with disabilities.
Yeah, I bring my everyday life into my music, no matter what it is. If it's a relationship, if it's how I'm feeling. A lot of my songs, I sometimes have to pivot from I can't get out of bed because people experience that, but I experience it in a different way that
Mhm.
other people don't experience. But music has just been this catalyst because as a drummer as well, with fibromyalgia, it is something that I have to pace myself with. which is a good thing and a bad thing. I take more time to understand. I dive a little deeper. I'm really, really good at certain aspects, but then the physical aspect is something that can sometimes lack because of that. In songwriting, it I deal with this every day. Like my life revolves around how to keep myself at a healthy level. And it's hard not to bring that into your art. It's hard to put that on the sidelines because everyone doesn't experience that, but everyone does experience that in some capacity. If you approach your lyrics in a vague way that can be applied to many different situations, it's more relatable. I do like being specific. I do like calling out specific things that I deal with, but then also saying very vague things like I can't get out of bed, right? That could be someone with depression, someone with anxiety, someone who has chronic pain, someone who has in a wheelchair. Like there's a million different um, ways that people can relate to those things. So I do like to keep it more at a vague stance, but I also like to incorporate accessibility into everything I do. I will talk about accessibility till the day I die. I live and breathe accessibility. It's just something to me that needs to be part of education. And that's why I love doing these interviews, talks. It just, hopefully, it bridges that gap for someone because there is a million ways that you can be caring to another person and accessible to another person without having to spend, years learning something or unlearning a behavior.
Now, you went to study at Metalworks. So we're going to give a shout out to our friends at Metalworks, started by Gil Moore. For those people who are music aficionados, they will remember Gil as being the drummer from Triumph, a big 80s band. Part of this school is run by Craig McDonald as well. Metalwork started off as a means for Gil and Triumph to get equipment, and he started there. That morphed into an amazing recording studio that he has in Mississauga, and also a school which I believe started off more as a technical school for audio, and it's morphed into some other things. You went to study music and other things there. So tell us about your experience at Metalworks.
Yeah, I studied for 2 years there from 2020 to 2022. And I took music performance and technology. So I majored in drums and performance. And then we had a bunch of other classes that helped us to understand music business, audio engineering, even live sound. We had to take live sound courses as well. And since graduating from there, I've gone on to work there since. So I think I graduated in August of 2022, and I think I was on board by late September, early October. So I didn't leave for very long. And it's actually where I met my entire team. So everyone that I live with, everyone that I make music with, I met at Metalworks.
Right.
And it's a great community. Gil has been the wind beneath my sails, if you will.
Mhm.
He's always there and he always remembers what people do around him and he makes sure that you are complimented on that. He stayed to watch my award at the Martys, even though it
Mhm.
was one of the last ones, and then promptly left. Um, and corrected everyone on their clapping, which I really appreciate because clapping is supposed to be on three and four, not one and two. But I was annoyed by that too. But he is just he has been so great to me, and I've really enjoyed my time there. I worked full time there up until I want to say 5 months ago, and I pivoted towards another job a little bit, but I still work there part time and seeing the students grow and be in the position that I was in and be able to give them, the advice that I wish I heard. And it's just been something that's so fulfilling for me.
Well, that's funny you mentioned about the clapping cadence. Only you drummers would 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 get annoyed with something with something like
Oh
that.
yeah. Oh yeah. It's
But
annoying.
congratulations on being picked up by Metalworks, because I know Gil and Craig have extremely high standards for their school, for themselves, and for the
Hmm.
people that are around them. So drums, you play ukulele, you play violin, you've got a bass guitar in the background, you've got a few, I'm not sure if one of them's an acoustic, but I recognize a couple of, like at least one electric guitar there.
Yep.
Um, lots of different instruments. Would you say that you play them all as efficiently as the drums, or go from most efficient, which I imagine is the drums, to least efficient?
Absolutely not as efficient as drums. Um, Honestly, I don't play guitar at all. One of them is
What are
my
they,
guitar.
props? You just
One,
teasing
okay,
us?
one of them is mine, but my producer uses them,
Okay.
who I live with. So we kind of just combined everything we had into a beautiful rack here, and I'm
Very
trying to learn the
nice.
bass for performances because I think it'd be cool to play bass and sing. But most efficient, definitely drums. Um, and then I would go ukulele and then violin. I haven't played the violin regularly since high school,
Mhm.
so I'm quite rusty there. And my grandfather's probably shaking his head at me, but a little bit rusty there. But drums is definitely my most proficient instrument by far.
Let's get into one of the songs that Jenna wrote. This song is one of Jenna's Project 2024 songs, which aims to release one song every month throughout the year. Let's take a listen to singer-songwriter Jenna Dundon and her song, Big City of Mine.
Blurry broken lines, fresh air on my face, but is it really fresher here? Lead the way, show me softly, 'cause this place is too much to take in now. It's one last time, one last drive, one more month before goodbye. Destination with no timeline, open waters, dangerous tides in this big city of mine. Don't wanna leave, but I got to go. Life moves fast and I don't notice. I gotta catch up to myself. I write songs that feel fake, and I write things that never stick, but I keep throwing things at the walls. It's one last time, one last drive, one more month until goodbye. Destination with no timeline, open waters, dangerous tides in this big city of mine. Soft faces in the sand, bring the map, I'll make the plan. 'Cause I'm not 18 anymore, but now you are. I wish I could pack you up in a box with all my stuff and keep you safe. One last time, one last drive, one more month until goodbye. Destination with no timeline, open waters, dangerous tides in this big city of mine. I go too far, come back to the start. Wish I was close. You want me back, but never asked. But now I'll be home from this big city of mine. City of mine.
Let's talk about the song Big City of Mine. You moved from Kingston to Mississauga, and you wrote this song about that.
I
So
did.
what was the inspiration? How were you feeling? Were you feeling overwhelmed going from Kingston to Mississauga?
That transition for me was just something that I needed to write about because everyone goes through it at some point in their life. Maybe it's not when they're 18, maybe it's when, you know, they're 20 something, 30 something. Like there's all different types of living situations, but um, everyone experiences moving out, and the culture shock from Kingston to Mississauga, like, was absolutely was absolutely insane. I didn't even know what a lentil was. I figured out what a lentil was when I was 20. Um, so lentils are very good, by the way. I can't believe I missed out. I missed out on lentils for so long. I thought minute rice was like rice. I I didn't know that there was like so many types of rice and even cultures. Yeah, and it's small too. Like everyone thinks Kingston is huge, but I think our population is 130,000, which is
Mhm.
like Cambridge. So when everyone thinks of Kingston, we also don't have access to Toronto as easily. Like we are 2.5, 3 hours away drive if there's no traffic on a good day. So even the amount of people, the transit system, I'd never taken a subway before. I still don't feel super comfortable taking the subway because I feel like I'm going to get lost
Well,
because I
you're
think
not alone. You're
Kingston,
not alone there. There's a lot of people that were born in Toronto don't feel comfortable on the subway.
it's scary, it's confusing. I don't understand what's happening half the time. But I'm figuring it out.
Uh, well, Kingston's loss is Mississauga's gain. We're so happy that you were able to find your way to the big smoke of Mississauga and make your way onto the stage to win that award. We have been in conversation with Jenna Dundon. Jenna, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.